Good morning, welcome back to the zombie apocalypse here in our cozy little forest, well, clearing at this point. It's been a couple in-game days. I've spent a lot of time chopping wood over there and you know, just living the forest life. We had a little incident here. Apparently either a meta event sound or my chopping attracted some zombies. One got stuck here on the water and I killed them, and two others just kept walking southwest. So we have two zombies somewhere in the forest, and I did not find them again, even with beeping and shouting and running around. Either way, I did a little prep work here. We have a wonderful pile of stuff on the ground here, which should be exactly enough for the stone mill. So stone wheels made from big rocks. Large handle, one rod, stone blocks made from stone, clay cement, trowel as a tool. Bam. Why am I making that mill? Because the mill is needed so we can grind those sunflower seeds into seed paste. And then we can use the seed paste in the press to make oil. Well, we need cheesecloth. There's always one more, right? One more step that I'm missing. And I guess cheesecloth you can't just make. Well, the plan for getting vegetable oil is slowly getting postponed more and more. At least the seeds will not go bad. Then over here, you might start to see what this is. So a bunch of the logs that we chopped down in this area, they arranged in this nice little pattern here. We have some rack bundles, which I'm gonna just unstack, turn them back into racks. And the idea here is that we're gonna make some fences for a potential chicken coop. And I think yes, the idea was to have it that way. Oh, it can only be on that side of the tile, or I could put it here. Might not have enough logs that way, and I don't want it to be super small. If it ends up, if I need to grab a couple more logs, that's fine. And of course, instead of using the two logs that are in the space, it used logs from somewhere else. Gives us a nice amount of carpentry XP here. So the main idea here being animals will use the water from like a lake or river instead of drinking from the feeding trough if it's inside the animal zone. So that's kind of what we're trying to do here. Basically putting the animal zone as part of the fenced off area. And then the next step would be getting that animal trailer, or one of the animal trailers that we have found in our travels, and, you know, getting some chickens into the base. Yeah, I definitely planned that a little bit wrong. Didn't account for the outer walls at the corners. Okay, so we're gonna need what? How am I 8 logs short though? That makes no sense. Do I have enough racks? I still have 12 racks. Now, building this fences out of logs is not very efficient when it comes to log usage. Like chopping them or sawing them down into planks and then using a plank fence gets you much more fence line per log chopped. But yeah, then brings us all back down to the nails. It's all about those nails. Yes, we can make nails later on if we get blacksmithing. Problem with that is, we need to get blacksmithing first, which is also probably going to be one of our next big goals. Looking into getting a furnace and forge setup. Let's finish off the fencing here. It's kind of nice how much... Not a terrible amount of carpentry XP here. Alright, next up. Feeding trough. We can't put there because it's technically in the same tile as the fencing, so it needs to be one off the edge. Okay. Oh, I think this is going to be the same, kind of the same issue then. Let's see, this is supposed to be a chicken hutch. Yeah. Going. So now we're down to 16 nails. Okay, all right. You know what? Oh, that was not bad for the first thing of the day. Yeah, one big issue I'm seeing already is that, of course, the we have the wood axe, which helps a lot with chopping down trees, but it's not gonna last forever. It's definitely taking some serious durability damage already, and we're not that great at repairing it. Yeah, I think I had some grass cuttings here from cleaning up stuff all over the place. Bring those all into the feeding trough. I swear, I'm always hearing zombie sounds nowadays. They put something into the background sounds that sounds like just close enough to a zombie sound that makes you constantly on edge. It's looking wonderful. So let's have a quick look at the whole building of the forge. So you can technically skip straight to an advanced furnace. Like stone blocks, that's just stones. Cement or concrete, yeah, we can do that. Trowel, we have. So the bellows is the thing that we're gonna need. So let's go here. Large bellows. We're gonna need nails. We got those. We're gonna need planks. Easy. Medium handle. Trivial. Medium tanned leather. Now there's gonna be the big issue. We're gonna need some leather. That means, you know, some poor animal is gonna volunteer their leather to us. And depending on which animal that is, we're gonna need a drying rack for the leather. Either a medium or a large one. We can get a large one and then just cut it into 2 medium pieces. or we just get a medium one. Kind of really depends on which kind of animal we're finding that's willing to part with its leather. Spoiler alert, none of them are actually willing to do that. You kind of have to convince them. Either way, let's check out the nearby area here. We were looking at in the last episode. That's a tree. That's a tree. You see here some chopping I've done this way. This is basically where the actual road is gonna be. But it's kind of very uneasy working there when you're constantly exhausted and you know there's still zombies not too far away. One thing I hadn't checked at all, we have 3 spare size here. Okay, so we get 6 weapons. That's not gonna last us too long. I do see a whole bunch of trees though, rocks I mean, also trees. And for some reason I no longer have the pickaxe in the car. Okay, so we gotta come back. We really need to do a little bit of a flint gathering trip. From any sort of flint rocks we see out here. But you know, one problem at a time. Let's see how far we can get with those 6 axes we have here. Alright, there's 3 more in the glove box. Sure, take them with us. We can. Turn off the engine. Oh. Okay, this sounds weird, but I think we found our medium leather. Potentially. There's one other thing. These are looking at this inside, and I'm not even interested in the loot in there, but hey, we could get some proper boxes if we could get inside. That'll have to wait a couple more days. Okay. I just want to clean out the zombies here because it's close to base, and any sort of meta event sounds will just drag them over to our tent. That seems like a bad idea. First weapon broken. Second weapon also broke. God damn, that is... Come on, a little bit faster than I was hoping for. So, one thing I'm considering, so I've been collecting a bunch of jewelry from zombies, right? The thing is, if I remember correctly, it is super slow to work with that. The idea was to have this stuff to help level up blacksmithing, because we don't have that much metals. And at least, you know, with the jewelry from zombies, you basically get free gold and silver. Can you turn that into plates and into coins? And that's all great, but it's really, really small amounts, and you need so much that you need to shred there. And considering we do have a metalworking torch and a propane gas tank, so we can take apart at least like 8 cars, that's plenty of metal to work with normally, instead of having to work with gold and silver. So I think when we're getting back to base, I'm just gonna throw all the jewelry into the trash can. You know, also reduce the item amount we have in the base. The other thing I need to do, we've fully read now the electrical book, so I can dismantle all the watches we have. See how close we're getting to the electrical levels for hot wiring. Oh, do I not have any? Oh, there's a water bottle, okay. Still mostly been drinking out of the river directly, and when we're at base. So the bottled water is what we have from when we left the old base and the well. And we still have those jerry cans that are filled with water, so yeah, we're good, I think. I'm not too concerned about the water supplies when we're out on the road. So, you know, a nice little quality of life. Not having to worry about water, because water's kind of important. All right. So there's 5 little piggies in here. 6. 2 boars. I'm surprised they're getting along. I thought they would start attacking each other. I guess the main issue is that do we need a butchering hook to get the lever, or do you get the lever if you butcher them on the ground? I think we might need the butchering hook. Which means we need a hook to actually make that, which I don't even know how we're getting that. So it used to be that you can just make a butchering hook just from a couple planks and nails. But now you need this large hook item, which you can usually find in garages and stuff. You know, it's not super rare item, but it's kind of rare if you're not looting any buildings. Which could mean that we can't actually skip the basic fortune furnace. So having to build that first, just to make the butcher hook. I think we're just gonna have to have a look here when we're back at base, see how that how feasible that would be to get that. Okay, there's the road already. That's nice. I guess our little piggies here are gonna have a little bit of a stay of execution. We don't need the lever just yet. I mean, not when we're executing any pigs. No. Just was saying, it's, you know, some of the animals are volunteering. They volunteered when they weren't looking. So quick rest here. So I kind of definitely want to have all the animals back at base at some point. One little pen for each animal type. Like, doesn't have to be huge amounts, but you know, little group of pigs, little group of sheep. 2 or 3 cows in a bowl. And plenty of chicken. No raccoons this time though, and no rabbits. That breeding nightmare that we had back in the Louisville base. I guess you don't have a corpse, alright? Keyring. You can have the keyring back. Also, hey, have my scythe. There's a zombie somewhere inside the building. That's weird. Like, I heard somebody banging on a door inside once. Then they stopped again. Like, oh, guess I don't have the key. Hey, that's actually fine having it on a window, because they can get out the window. They can't get out of a door. Oh, Mechanics 2 is the one book that's on the ground here. Like the one mechanics book we already have. Alright, almost cleared out this neighborhood. That's a good amount of work here for today. Good amount of work. Alright, one last guy here. Only broken weapon. Oh, he died. I mean, I knew that. I didn't just swing at the air there. Ooh, and this is our last... No, it's not. Did we really go through all 7 weapons here already? No, we didn't. Okay, there was another house a little bit up the road. That's the one we cleared the other day when we were driving back to base. So I think just this group here in the corner. Maybe checking out what's happening in this field over there, and then we're good for now. Still very much concerned about seeing our first sprinter or two. Decent amount of watches here today. It's kind of nice. Oh, there's another group down there. Probably should take that out. Okay, you know what? Let's have a quick rest. Drink some more of that water. I really can't wait to have a little bit more strength, so we can just have a water bottle in the main inventory and don't have to manually unpack it each time I want to drink. And yeah, by the way, we are now past day 28, so everything we clear out is also fully gonna be cleared out as well. Aside from, of course, any zombie movements due to migration, meta event sounds, helicopter events, all that kind of stuff. But nothing else should be spawning in. Nice little pile here. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna go down there for this one guy, but we'll do this too. cuisine, reducing boredom and stress. Always nice to see. Okay. Lots of stones and rocks and stuff here. I don't not see any like mineable flint in this area right now. Considering we are down to a couple weapons. 3 weapons. Oh, okay, there's another big group. What did I... Not place. Attach. There's another little group behind them. Okay. Was maybe slightly too big of a group here, given our current killing speed. Vehicle key in that keyring. Oh no, it's a bottle opener. I don't think we need that. I think we're gonna have another quick sit. Get fully rested and then clean out the last couple zombies. It's gonna make me feel so much safer in our little forested area. You know, outside of the 2 zombies that are somewhere in the deep in the forest now and could come out at any day and night. Okay, one more. You're the last one, right? Okay, that's the building we were at the other day. Alright, let's head back home across the field and run into a couple more zombies. Yeah, we're on our last weapon here. Alright, I'm gonna... I was going to say, put a cut here and head back to base. But let's kill these last 2 zombies. Hopefully the site's gonna hold. Didn't we park here at the end of the dirt road? Okay, there. Just a couple meters over there. All right. One thing I'm considering at the moment is that I might just always park at the road instead of driving through the forest. If we're not transporting anything super huge that needs to be, brought to base. Just so that I don't drive over the grass and ruin the tires every single time. At least until we get a little bit into mechanics and are able to repair our vehicle. Alright, so we're gonna park here. Let's bring this to base, bring the watches back to base, the rest can stay here for now. Alright, back at base. Our box with all the watches. See how much we get out of this. Simple electrical items. Alright, that's already kind of enough for hot wiring, right? Electrical 1, mechanics 2. That's what we would need. Of course, ideally, we want to have electrical level 3 at some point, so we can hook up a generator. Although, maybe we find the generator magazine before that. Alright, let's take a quick look at the other forge levels. So, simple forge already needs an anvil, which needs a furnace where we can make the anvil in, so no. I kind of wanna. So the thing is, we need that butcher hook, right? And if we can't make it in a primitive forge, then this is just a waste of time crafting this. If we can make it, then that's absolutely worth it. Okay, let's gonna have to see. We need 2 large stones. One to make the anvil, one to make the stones we need to make the forge. So the downside of this forested area is there's surprisingly few rocks in there between the trees here. Like there's a couple single stones, but I'm not seeing any large stones. I almost have to go really far away from base. I mean, some might be hiding behind trees. I'm not saying I have the perfect vision for the stones yet. We should just need make a big, large stone collection trip. Like that field we've been fighting in today had so many stones. This feels like a big waste of time here when we can just go somewhere where we know that there's going to be some flint here. Yeah, there's no stones here. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go back to base. We're gonna sleep, and then I'm gonna collect some stones, collect some flints, and just get generally prepared and ready for future adventures. When we come back, we're gonna see if that's enough to get us started on our crafting and metalworking and blacksmithing journey, and then we also have to do a little bit of a road trip, find us some chickens that want to live here and provide us with our daily dose of eggs, so that we're not going hungry, and that we're not losing too much weight. For now though, we're gonna put a cut in here. Might as well, you know, before we go to bed, have a quick read in our pottery book while we have daylight left. Call it a night. So next episode, we're gonna start on our blacksmithing journey, one way or the other. For now though, that's it from my end. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.